Saturday morning. We're sitting here and had some incidents last night that had us pondering. So I thought I'd just ask Willie to tell us the story of how we ended up chasing this dream on this boat and where he came from. We're thankful it's Thanksgiving, and I want you to tell the new viewers that have just joined us since the adventures on the boat how all this all started.
Okay, well, I actually gotta tell you about last night first, which is I pulled the hatch again. It is basically over the sanitation system, and well, sanitation system still is not working right. So the question started, are you having buyer's remorse? I would say that probably a lot of people would be like, I'm having buyer's remorse, but I've owned a house before. And so if you own a house, really, I liken this to my house, okay? I don't really want a house. I don't want to be fixed in one place. I don't want to have to mow grass ever again. Unless, it's maybe on a bush hog or some sort of big, huge machinery that just eats the grass up and all the vegetation. I don't really want to have to mow. That's not at all. Now, my neighbor, he was ecstatic that he had grass in an area and that he'd be able to mow it soon. So we all have different dreams. But as a boy, growing up, I learned to fish. I love to fish. I've done some commercial fishing. That's probably why storms on the water don't bother me, because I've already ridden a lot of storms on the water out. It's no different than storms on shore. It's just different concerns, like, am I going to have a wave that's way big come over the top of the boat? But then once it does it once, guess what? You're like, oh, well, okay, that's okay. It's not bad. And as a boy, my parents had some friends, the Temples, and they had a big Hatteras. And the people in Delray Beach next to my grandparents on the seawall, they had a big Hatteras style fishing boat. And that made me dream of traveling around the world and fishing around the world. And well, I've reached that point, except the boat's broken. Now, the only way I could get to this point was, really, the big man upstairs helped me. This boat should have cost 4 or 5 times what I paid for it. That's the only way I could afford it. Trust me, I even got to my phone this morning, because I've been looking at boats and boat shopping all across America. A ton of ads, and a center console that's 36 foot is $444,000. Well, that ain't gonna happen. So this boat was in my price range. It needs some work. It's very easy as far as boats go to work on. I haven't had to do a lot of tight boat yoga. This console underneath is completely open, so it's very easy to crawl right through the big hatch compared to like a center console and get back in there and fix stuff.
You can crawl around in there.
You can crawl around. You can almost sit up. In this section here, I can sit with my head up. Where it drops down is a huge, there's just a huge cavern there. I took the life vest out of there. There were 2 packs of life vests, and you could have fit 6 to 8 of the big packs of life vests underneath the console. So there's tons of room. Easy to work on, easy to chase the wires. If I could just get the bathroom to work correctly, there's 3 of them, and that would be fabulous. And then the bad fuel, which that's not surprising because the boat sat. So the bad fuel is kind of a normalcy, and that hopefully we'll end up putting our own fuel polisher in so we can polish fuel when there's any issues on our own. So really right now is working through the kinks. Somebody was like, oh, you should have done all this stuff before you left. And look, you don't know what's bad on a used boat until you run it. I could go into a yard and I could spend a bunch of money upgrading stuff, and then we put it in the water, we go off, and guess what? We have breakdowns. We have poopers that, the pump explodes.
Yeah.
The pump ring broke, and since then we found a solution. But because the pump ring broke and the lid fell off, well, I don't know what direction it was facing. I know it's only going to work one way, and then the pump is so old, there is zero on the internet about that pump. And I've run into that before with old stuff. It was before the internet time, and there's no photos, there's no videos, there's zero.
1986.
1986, I don't know if that pump's been replaced. It may not have. It may have failed in 1987 and been fine ever since. That's how parts go. So we've got a mechanic coming. He's going to polish the fuel, maybe. He says he's going to, but I'm down to maybes because that is life. That's life in Dadeville. We sit, we chat, we discuss what all is going to get done, and then, well, something totally different gets done. So he's going to come down, he's going to polish the fuel if his rig is big enough to do it. If not, then I do have a big fuel polisher truck that will come out here, and it'll have bigger filters and be able to filter down smaller without getting clogged. That's the real issue. But there's a lot of little stuff that you need to learn, even about new boats, before you travel around the world, but not from Connecticut to Florida. Okay, there's stops all the way along. There's places to get stuff fixed. We've been here 3 weeks, and we're supposed to be an overnight and a fill up. That was the plan. We're gonna fuel it up, and we must be out of fuel. That's why the generator stopped in that one tank. And no, which is good, because that means it burned almost nothing getting from Connecticut to down here. And we're in Atlantic City. But we just got some work to do, and like buying a new used house, there's, stuff that's got to be fixed. Let's liken it actually to this, because it's not like a new used house. It is more like purchasing a foreclosure or a government auction house. There's going to be more stuff that has to be done because it hadn't actually been maintained for 5 years. Like run, driven, which if you leave anything mechanical that runs and drives sit for years and years and years, there's always a lot of stuff that goes wrong at first. And that's where we're at. We're at the go wrong at first thing, and it's fix each thing individually, but not having any buyer's remorse. This has been great. Even sitting at the dock, I got to watch the Osprey leave this morning. All the guys load up, get ready to go fishing, all excited, and I sat in here in this heated fly bridge, which is rare. Heated and AC'd and fully enclosed is a rare option on a lot of sport fisherman style boats. I sat up here and I thought, I'm not freezing. Them guys down there were packing on layers and layers and layers, and I stood up here thinking, I might take my sweatshirt off. It's a little warm up here. Feels like Florida. Feels like home. So I'm excited to get out down to Florida get some stuff on the boat fixed that really needs to be fixed, and then over to the islands, and we'll fix stuff in the islands. That's how it goes. Thanks for joining me, guys. Stay blessed. Remember, it's the man upstairs that makes everything happen in your life. So give him praise. See you, wanderers.